am the Irish guy, and it's actually happening. Bayern Munich are going from Sané to Mane to Kane. What a strange transfer policy. But next, give it 18 months, and are we going to see this fella at centre back with Superman's girlfriend on the wing with Liam Payne on the bench? Actually, no, that one doesn't really work because he's got a Y in his name. To be fair, his entire success is one big Y. But yes, Sane, Maine, Kane. Now do I sound like Snoop Dogg? No, I've got all the swagger of a children's plastic teapot. But lads, it's funny. I do find it strange. Last year, I was finally given what I wanted because back in 2019, during their devastating rivalry days at Liverpool and Man City, I thought, how cool would it be to see Sané and Mane together? And then Bayern Munich made it happen, marketing them as the next Ribéry and Robin. Yeah, in reality, they had all the chemistry of Barney and Robin. Nobody knows what show that is. But no, Sané and Mane was supposed to be the dream relationship. Instead, it was more of a Chris Brown relationship. Instead of forming a devastating double act, Mane just chose to punch Sané in the face, and now he's been banished to the Saudi Pro League. Yeah, word to the wise, Sadio. You might be able to get away with that by picking on some bloke called Leroy, but please don't attempt to slap Ronaldo in the mouth with all the power he's got in that nation now. He could probably have Mane's wrist chopped off with a blunt steak knife, but Bayern Munich are wanting to buy Harry Kane, and I would imagine the Tottenham fans are freaking out. This is most unwelcome news. I bet I guess someone told you that your creepy former PE teacher, the one who spent time in prison for having 7 heads in his fridge, I bet like hearing that he's about to take out your mum on a date to Burger King. But Spurs, I think it's time to let go. Kane has just a year left in his deal. He is not signing a new contract. I mean, can you imagine the utter disaster when he walks away next summer on a free to anyone he wants? Imagine being forced to watch him join Manchester United on a free. That's the club who Daniel Levy shook down for a British transfer record of £30 million in 2008 when he sold them Dimitar Berbatov. So seeing Tottenham's greatest striker of all time pull on a Manchester United shirt after costing less than a rhubarb pie, just no, that would be an absolute disaster. This is going to sound pretty silly, to an extent where I do sound like I've got the IQ of a drunken beaver, but of all the top European leagues, Germany is the one to go to if you want to score goals. That is the league to go to if you want to put up silly numbers. Scoring 40 goals in a single club season is rare for Kane. He's only done it once, back in the 17-18 season, but in Germany, he can do that every year. Here are Robert Lewandowski's numbers at Bayern Munich. 25, 42, 43, 41, 40, 55, 48, and 50. That was 344 goals in 375 games for Bayern Munich. That was an absolute joke, and the fact that he doesn't even have a single Ballon d'Or in his trophy cabinet, it's almost a bit disgusting. Even last season, in his debut season in Spain, 33 goals for Barcelona. Lewandowski is one of the greatest of all time, and to think he nearly wound up at Blackburn in 2010, what a horrifying Black Mirror parallel reality. One of the most supreme centre forwards of the last 100 years. Being forced to listen to team talks from a Sam Allardyce whose pockets are filled with donuts he stole from the chairman's office. But it's not just Lewandowski. Mario Gomez was a quality striker, but not exactly seen as a world star or anything, and yet at his peak, he was scoring 35 in a single season for Stuttgart. He also had 39 goal and 41 goal seasons for Bayern Munich. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had a 39 goal season for Borussia Dortmund, and then followed that up with 40 goals. Ivan Toney, someone who spent his peak years just being linked to West Ham. Yeah, a regular 30 goals a season for Palermo, Fiorentina, and then 39 in his debut season with Bayern. Christ above, this world champion goal machine, to then be repeatedly offered the chance to just play up front with Carlton Cole. Every time West Ham rang his phone, he must have felt like vomiting all over his dog. But lads, there was a Brazilian bloke called Graffiti. He only ever scrambled 4 caps, mostly had the clout of a vegan sausage roll, still put up 35 goals in a 31 game season for Wolfsburg back in 2009. You know what is even weirder than that stat? He wasn't even his own team's top scorer that year. That was Edin Dzeko with 36. So Wolfsburg's 2 strikers scored 71 goals between them that season. Surely the most underrated strike partnership of all time. But my personal favorite season from a striker in Germany, Klaus-Jan Huntelaar, he was just a 7 or 8 goal a season average striker at Real Madrid and AC Milan. Then he moves to Schalke, scores a pretty disappointing 13 in his debut season, and then in his second, 48 goals in 48 games. A goal per game. Despite looking like a deformed werewolf. Someone who looks like he failed an audition for Beauty and the Beast. Someone who probably hadn't brushed his teeth since he was a child. He was hitting Ronaldo numbers in Germany. A goal per game. I mean, that's what Erling Haaland also did with 41 goals in 41 games for Borussia Dortmund in 2020-21. And he was so close to repeating that with 29 goals in 30 games in his next season. Lads, Haaland was only 1 goal shy of 53 goals in 53 games for Man City last season. Can you imagine that if he just scored 2 more goals, this Norwegian beefcake would have averaged a goal a game 3 seasons in a row? That is just stupid form. But even at RB Leipzig recently, Christopher Nkunku had a 35 goal season, Timo Werner had a 34 goal season before that, and they could both wind up just being average Chelsea flops. I mean, come on, there are goals to be had in Germany. That's Gerd Muller had a 66-goal season for Bayern Munich once. When strikers in Bundesliga are also in European competition, they can score ridiculous numbers. If and when Kane goes to Bayern, he should be scoring 50 goals a season minimum. The only problem is he needs what? 48 more goals to pip Alan Shearer and become the all-time Premier League top scorer. I think that gets sacrificed if he goes to Bayern now, because he'll want to spend his early 30s challenging for the Champions League before maybe returning to England when he's 34. But who will really have him then? He'll probably do an Andy Cole and scuttle around mid-table bottom half clubs, chipping away at his goal tally with 8 goals a season. Crazy of Cole left Man United at 30 years of age and then just bounced around Blackburn, Fulham, Man City, Portsmouth and Sunderland in the Prem. He also found time to squeeze in Birmingham, Burnley and Nottingham Forest in the Championship. He'll have lived his 30s out of a suitcase, just frequenting pretty grim cities that probably stink of mouldy chips and cat sick. So I think that is Kane's future. He'll just be a 9-goal-a-season striker for the likes of Fulham and Crystal Palace. And I don't think he does catch Shearer. Not if he goes to Bayern. But as for Tottenham, sell Kane and move on. This is what I would do. Write the season off and just buy Ivan Toney. I know you're going to think I'm talking absolute wet nonsense because he is banned for 6 months. But I'm sorry, go back to January 2004, the day that Rio Ferdinand was banned for 9 months. And are you telling me that if given the chance, Chelsea wouldn't have snapped him up there and then on the spot? Of course they would. Ferdinand at Stamford Bridge would have formed the greatest ever Premier League centre-back partnership with John Terry. Although it would have been very awkward for them in 2012, lifting the Champions League together in Munich 6 months after that hideous unpleasantness at QPR. Terry would be lucky not to get pushed down the stairs at the after party. But lads, Toney has the quality to be the leading man at Tottenham. It's not just the goals and ice cool penalties, but it's the glorious technical ability, the ability to pick up 40-yard passes too. Imagine Toney threading through balls to a rejuvenated Son Heung-min. Watch Toney's perfect all-around performance for Brentford in that 4-0 barring of Man United last year. That should absolutely convince Levy that he is the perfect short-term option to be Tottenham's main striker for the next 3 years. And then, once Tottenham are back in the Champions League, then you could go out there and rival for the next world-class superstar. It's a bit like Liverpool in 2014. When they lost Luis Suarez to Barcelona, they could have gone out there and signed an immediate world-class replacement, which they were going to do with Alexis Sanchez, who initially would have been great. Well, it would have been a burnt-out sausage roll by Jurgen Klopp's 3rd season. So Liverpool bided their time, waited 3 years, and signed Mo Salah instead. The closest thing the Reds have had to Suarez since Fernando Torres. That is what Tottenham should do. Type a 6-month loan deal for Eric Choupo-Moting. Don't look at me like that. I know he's in his 30s and an ex-Stoke City flop. So is Joselu, and he plays for Real Madrid. So what exactly is your point? Are Tottenham fans really going to turn their nose up at a bloke who scored 17 goals for Bayern Munich last year? Tie up a £60 million deal for Toney this month. And then alternate between having Choupo-Moting or Richarlison leading the line in this freebie season until January, and then unleash Ivan in Postecoglou ball. Look, he's not Harry Kane, no, but he's a fearless centre-forward with an elite temperament. Toney will be perfect to lead the line for the next 3 years until Tottenham are in a position where they can afford a Champions League standard superstar like Youssoufa Moukoko from Borussia Dortmund. Honestly, Tottenham, what is the fuss? I've just solved the entire Kane problem. Next! Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think Tottenham should do? Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe, and as always, I'll talk to you in a while.